everyone, it's Christine, and I wanted to make a little video of me filling in my quarter journal. So I'm kind of catching up with pages, and I'm currently working on some pages from last November. So how I've set up this journal really is I've given each week one page, so that means 4 quadrants for photos or journaling from each week. So if I don't have that many photos from the week, I like to include like things I'm watching, things I'm reading, things I'm enjoying, food, and all that. So in this page that I'm currently working on, I have 2 full-size kind of photos to fill up those 2 quadrants. I have one quadrant that's saved for the show I'm watching called Slow Horses, which I totally love. I really enjoyed this show, and I'm just so glad that it was back. How I like to also kind of embellish those full-size photo kind of sections is to put a little sticker or to add little journaling spots on top of the photos. So you'll see I try to use the entire sticker, and it also kind of ties the whole page together. So okay, I decided to put one little snippet of that sticker onto that side. So here I am using our more currently sealed stamp set to add a little accent to this TV show quadrant. And I'm using the currently crushing on stamp because I think the guy is super cute, Jack Loudon. Super cute and fun show. So including that little detail. I also really like these labels from our Mini Book Makers Club kits. So the extra stickers, I love to use them in my scrapbook because they're just general phrases that you can use pretty much anywhere. So how I've kind of simplified working in this journal is I have this one stamp set from the Everyday Explorer shop called This Month Weekday, and it's full of phrases like this week, this month, here's what happened this week, weekly highlights, and I kind of use that stamp set on rotation for those little journaling quadrants that I have every week. So to keep it really simple, I do save one little space for like a quick list of things that happened that week or things I want to remember from that week. And then everything else are either photos that I fill in the little journaling spots, or like I'm doing here, the TV show little spot. I'm just writing about like how I'm so glad that this season there's a new season of this show and I'm having fun like watching it and all that. You'll also notice that I have all these little Post-its in my notebook, and that is to help me remember when I don't have time to scrapbook things right away. So throughout the book, if you flip in the next few pages, it's all Post-its of things I want to remember. So I do a quick little scribble of the grid of like photos I have for the week and just like list it down really quickly. And like with this, I wish I added a little more detail because I just have like 3 items and I'm like trying to remember what fun things I did that week. So that little staircase is a photo from the BART trains here in the Bay Area, and I took almost like a 2-hour train and bus ride to go see my cousin, and it was so much fun. Like I just miss like long commutes where you just listen to podcasts and zone out. Okay, so this next page, I'd already started earlier. That top right section is actually a menu from this local restaurant called State Bird Provisions, and I knew I wanted to save it. I was figuring out a way to include the whole thing just because, so that's why that's there already. I for some reason I wanted to like add that in. And here I am doing a little quadrant about this book that I finished. I really love these like fluffy rom-com romance novels to read before bed just to turn my brain off. I really enjoyed this book, so I wanted to include it in my scrapbook. I'm deciding not to use that sticker. And going back to, it's funny how I just like jump through the quadrants depending on what's inspiring me. So back to that stamp set, like as I said, I am just using several versions of that Here's What Happened This Week kind of stamp set as like headings for that journaling spot. Okay, so back to my book section. I finally chose the Love This Book stamp set. And so how I like to pick like colors to use, I try to keep it minimal. So I'm trying to stick to like just a few colors per spread. With this, I picked brown. The great thing about clear stamps is it's easy to fix. I am trying to dab the ink out of the photo just because it's a glossy photo and I know it might kind of smear. Okay, so as I was saying, like the colors, I kind of try to keep it to a minimum. One thing I like doing is finding colors from the photos that I have. So for example, I picked the brown just because there's brown in that little shot glass of milk up there and also on the page. So that's kind of how I choose colors. Same for like the previous page where the stairs with the yellow and the kind of, there's almost like a twinge of purple. And so that's why I chose purple for the weekly highlights and this show stamps. So just, try to keep it simple. That way I'm really focused more on getting the spreads done versus, trying to make it all perfect. I'm speaking of that too, like I try to keep my journaling in bullet list form too, just like quick, this is what happened this week kind of journaling. Sometimes a lot of things happen, sometimes there wasn't that much to tell, that many stories to tell, so that's kind of how I keep that part simple. Even for this little book section, I didn't use the entire quadrant just because I knew there wasn't that much I wanted to write about it. So you'll notice like there is a weird space on top, and that's kind of like, for me figuring out, okay, what do I do with that little journaling spot? I did think about writing more about the restaurant, but I already did that on top of that little shot glass of milk picture. So I'm just filling up the space with a sticker, and you'll see how I kind of just want to finish off the page and finding like a good enough size sticker that I'm happy with to put there. So I did end up going with this Life Lately one, and I'm hiding it there, right behind me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this peek into my process, and thank you for watching.